Well, first of all, thank you everyone for coming to the screening. And does anyone have any questions for us? Any of us? Anyone here? At all?
Good job.
Just to give you guys a full rundown, though, Peter's the editor and post-production supervisor. Cliff is the cinematographer, and the rest is pretty self-explanatory. So that's who they are. All right, sweet. This has been fun. I appreciate everyone. We have one.
How long did it take to film it?
We shot over. It was 17-day shoot. Yeah. Wow. Pretty fast. Pretty 17 shooting days.
Can you answer that question? It gets shorter.
Yeah, it was 3 shooting days.
6.
It was a 48-hour filmmaking competition.
We just made the sequel.
Anyone else out there?
Yeah. How many times do you have to do that family fight scene? Was that?
That was actually that was 26 shots in 2 days. I think is pretty much where we. I mean, it was pretty fast. Yeah, the last sequence.
You mean after the hospital?
Yeah. Oh, there you are. Yeah. Very good. Yeah, it was just over 2 days that we actually that whole living room sequence was actually 2 days. The fight sequence was I think a solid, maybe 8, 9, 10 hours, something like that. Is that about right, Cliff? Do you remember? I think so. Somewhere in that ballpark.
It's about a full day.
Cliff is having a blast.
Yeah, it was definitely, we worked well into the night on that one.
I mean, it looked really real. I could really picture that. I thought it was great.
Very good. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Were all you guys having actually as much fun as it looked like you were having?
Sometimes less.
I should probably hand this one off to these people. Does anyone care to answer that one?
Give that to Josh.
What exactly do you mean by that?
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Definitely. I mean, it's a little tough at 5 in the morning when you've been working for 12 hours or 13 hours. But it's still, we had a pretty upbeat cast, I would think.
Oh, yeah.
A good crew, and it's fun. On a small indie film, everyone's kind of like in the same boat. We're telling a story. Everyone's working for no money or a little bit of money. So it's definitely, you think you're part of something special. So that's what gets you through 14, 16-hour days.
Also, there was a baby. Whenever you're watching this movie, there's a baby and 30 people, right on the outside of the shot.
Yeah.
Which had a baby, and the baby was the most chill person on the set, which it makes perfect sense.
We also had a cat that was constantly there too. Wally the cat.
Was in the film. Totally got cut.
Yeah, he got cut. I cut my own cat out of the film. Ruthless bastard.
Yeah. He's a cute cat. He owns the cat.
The woman with the curly hair in the back.
Can you say a little bit about your inspiration for the film?
Inspiration for the film. The original idea behind it came from this family that lived down at the end of the cul-de-sac where I grew up, and they were sort of the family who they threw the block party each year, and they were certainly the ones that sort of ruled the neighborhood and spread rumors about the evil Bowden boys at times. And then one day, word came out that they themselves had this sordid history, and the father was this alcoholic and had this huge affair and yada yada yada. So it was that basic premise. I took that, and then constantly, you hear it in the news all the time about the woman who sleeps with the student, and all these salacious stories that people have to live through. And I didn't want to necessarily go to that one instance. I just wanted to sort of project what it would be like for a family like that 15 years past that incident. And that was the jumping off point. That was the beginning point of writing. And what you have now is the end result. Right here?
What was fascinating was the confluence of humor, hilarity. It was really a very funny film, and at the same time, such reality and such moments that really were affecting. So I was wondering how it was to act that, because you must have been aware that this was a very funny situation, and at the same time, very believable in a very real way.
Actors, anyone care to take that one?
This question has actually come up before.
and this is a writer asking this question, you guys should know. You've got to play it for the real thing. 'Cause when we're in a funny situation, look at sitcoms. I mean, if you think it's funny as the character, you're probably not really in it. But it's going to have a lot more punch and effect if you believe the stress of the situation. So in that way, the actors don't get to really have fun with the comedy until we get the cookies.
Yeah.
The laughter. You guys were a really wonderful audience, weren't they?
Absolutely. But the one thing I was just going to add to that is I don't think any of these people, I don't think any of us really were working on the comedy at that time. Yeah. We were really working out. I knew, of course, like, to me it was funny. But it wasn't about that. You know what I mean? Like, at that point, it was to be as taken as seriously as humanly possible, to be in that scenario, and then just to play those characters in full. And then the humor really comes from the situation, and of course the lines. But those are the characters saying those lines, not to be funny, but because those are what the characters would say. Yeah. And that's the way we played it, and that's the way we kept it as real as possible.
Nothing screams comedy like your father committing suicide. That's, we can all convalesce in a big belly laugh over that.
What is wrong with you?
This is a question for the actors. How do you guys get into character?
I'm going to go to my right at this point.
I'm going to keep it going to the right.
I want to hear it.
I'm safe. My mother isn't here tonight.
Yeah, get in there.
I have a very dysfunctional family, so I could really, you just read the script as much as possible and create a biography and just keep on rereading and create stories and create a history and just every day try to live in that character's, practice panic attacks and anxiety and anger and, you just practice it, and it's the more that you live it, the more that you become that, and therefore that's the story.
And there is, also that if you can't, there is someone who can. So you better. That always works too.
Also, one note to that is you do have to stay really focused because there's like 25 people walking around you, for 15 hours. So different actors have different, some actors go crawl in the corner when they're not on set and are very focused. Some people make jokes. Some people, everyone has different things. So you kind of always have to juggle other actors too. But focus is the main thing because it really turns into a long day. So I think all of us had different ones. But we're in John's apartment for 3 days.
Totally
so it's like, dude, I'll be up on your roof. That you're trying to find hiding places in a very small area. I'll be under your bed with your cat.
Well, I got a lot of love during that period. Thank you, by the way.